Heinz May. The sculpture title is Ashen, and originally I'm from Oregon on the West Coast, and I'm living in Brooklyn now. The tree trunk was located here in the area, taking part of the material back to my studio for preparatory processing, gridding, cubing, drilling. Those are all parts of the process of my work, and then bring it back on site, planting it so as to appear as if it was naturally growing on site. That's also part of the process. I really want it to feel like there's a seam between nature, the environment, and then the gridded element of the artwork. So all those are inherent parts of the process of all my work. I want to leave it open for interpretation. I want them to see it and have it do something for them. If they read my statement, I want them to then think about the relationship that I have with the work, which is that it's really related to technology, the digital world that's ubiquitous and omnipresent that we're always dealing with. So taking nature and putting it into cubes and then reassembling them together, for me, is like a puzzle or a pixelated composition. But I would rather have people come up to it and get what they want to get out of it. If I could say, there's lots of symbolism and different levels of it, and focusing on one specific element of symbolism I think that it holds for me is that our environment's changing constantly, and we might be a part of it. In fact, mostly I believe that we are. People might argue against that, but the reason why the emerald ash borer is here is because we introduced it to this environment. The reason why the ash tree is dying is because of that. So we're a direct consequence of what's happening to our forests and our natural environment. And again, instead of dumping oil or sewage into the ocean or into the lakes or into the streams, we are going from a different, we just don't realize, I think I should say, we don't realize our impacts from our actions on the environment and on the natural cycles that exist on Earth. I'm very interested in environmentalism and activism. I've spent a lot of time researching the various things that have happened throughout history as far as trying to secure our environment, because nature only happens once. So once it's gone, all we're doing is creating replicas and facsimiles of what existed before. So I want to introduce through my work these ideas that embrace nature and embrace natural cycles and processes when we are so obsessed with the artificial world. And I think that environmentalism and Earth Day, I think all of that came about because we were too focused on economy and monetary success, not realizing that progression and success can come from many other ways. So while we're stacking dollars and making money off things, we're not realizing the impact that that all has and the footprint that's left behind. It's more than just a carbon footprint, because it's goading our next generation to think about how they're going to make money and how they're going to succeed and progress. And I think that that's problematic, because there are plenty of other ways to find wealth, and nature is full of it. We're missing that most of the time. I think that symbolically I want my work to relate to Earth Day and the environmentalism acts, because it's trying to push that agenda further into a modern scope, into a modern lens, which is screen technology, digitization, the grid, all these things that are everywhere, and we don't have much choice but to participate anymore. And I think that's a problem when we don't have a choice but have to participate. I think there's a problem with that. Not to mention the amount of energy abuse that comes from using these devices, and that the major source are really fossil fuels still. Whenever you plug something, even an electric car, you're still burning huge amounts of fossil fuel energy. So we're not actually at the point where we haven't made it there yet. It's 50 years and we still are not there. We're still trying to figure it out. But, you know, it's taken 300-400 years, or maybe the existence of humans, to be able to realize that equality is something that exists and should exist and is for the benefit of all, not just one group of people, but all people.